When Carl Floyd talks about that time he fell down the subway stairs on his way to a gig in Queens, he laughs.
It's weird because when you're in the air, the only thing you can think about doing is, well, how am I going to get out of this predicament? And time is fleeting while you're in the air. You're like, oh, wow.
That's pretty much how he sees everything in his life. He's just the type of guy that can take a step back and say, it is what it is.
I've been telling people when they've been laughing at me, I take a licking and keep on ticking.
Carl's in a band called The Connections, and the only other member is his friend Tyrone. They both remember exactly when and where they met. It was 6 years ago on the platform of the L line at Union Square, totally by chance.
I was playing Sam Cooke's song, I think it was Where It's At. And Carl walks up and he says, can I sing with you? I said, sure, okay. And, he opens his mouth and sings, and I'm just like, wow,
The harmony was perfect, so I was like, wow, we really sound good together. So ever since then, it was like, yo, man, we're family. You're it. Tag, you're it. You're not going anywhere.
They've been playing together ever since. And summer is, hands down, Carl's and Tyrone's favorite time to perform. So playing one last summer gig was a pretty big deal because soon the cold would force them to retreat in search of warm places to play. Maybe even to that same platform station where they met all those years ago. It was so important that Carl left home way before he had to, just so he could get there early. And then he ended up just flying down the subway stairs.
And when I was going down the stairs, I had my equipment, and I picked it up to walk down the stairs. And just as I was getting down toward the bottom of the steps, next thing I knew, my feet was in the air, and I couldn't push the equipment away fast enough. So I fell over the equipment, bust my head open. The way that I landed trying to catch myself, I broke my finger. And I was bleeding all over the place.
After that, playing in Queens was out of the question. But because Carl's an optimist, just the type of guy that could fall down the stairs and still make the most of it, he decided that even if Tyrone wasn't with him, he was just going to change venues for the day. Starting from the moment he got into the ambulance, when he belted out a gospel song while they took his vitals.
There is power in the name of Jesus. Break every chain, break every chain. Break every chain.
That impromptu performance was only the start. When he got to the hospital, he sang to the nurses and doctors, and even to an elderly woman that had grown up listening to old jazz and soul songs. Just the type of music Carl sings best. So, even with a broken finger and 9 newly done stitches over his eyebrows, he seized the opportunity.
I did a Nat King Cole song for her, and she started crying. She said she loved that. And it was fun because I turned the hospital out. I said, well, if I can't make it to the show, I'm going to do a show right here.
It's easy to imagine him there, with his raspy voice and charismatic smile, working the hospital crowd. He sings like he knows he's accomplishing something greater than good tips.
I'm learning from that. It's what's inside you that counts. It's not outside. So if you have the love and the spirituality to project what God has given you and to be the medicine to people and stuff, then that's what you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to do.